We begin by meeting a young woman named Maya, who is checking if she is pregnant. Her incompetent boyfriend, Jamie, is surprised that this hasn't happened yet, especially after their award-winning hormone yoga sessions. Maya simply tells Jamie to go back to the kitchen as a maid, and he does what she says. In a way, Jamie is happy that Maya isn't pregnant because the baby would disrupt their weird sessions, and he would have to focus on winning solo awards. However, the moment of truth arrives quickly, and Maya discovers that she is indeed pregnant. Jamie goes to the store to pick up a bottle of drink to celebrate, but there's a gang of bullies hanging around the streets who harass Jamie for no reason at all. He does his best to ignore them and heads back home after picking up the bottle. However, the men continue to annoy him, and he loses his cool. Unfortunately, Jamie stupidly reveals that Maya is pregnant and even insults the bullies. As expected, he ends up getting beaten up, and the bums break into his house to do whatever filthy thugs do. Maya calls the police for help, but she is dragged out of the bathroom and kicked around while Jamie watches on like a coward. The lead bully confronts Maya after she pulls out a knife and taunts him a bit. Luckily, some police cars arrive, so the bullies run away to save their lives as children of the devil. The scene shifts to a creepy door that zooms in to reveal a dead woman in the backyard. Medics attend to her while an old caretaker senses that someone is watching them from behind the door. Months later, Maya and Jamie drive towards a new property in rural Ireland. It turns out that the dead woman was actually Jamie's great-aunt, and she left him her home. Jamie is visibly happy to get a new house despite losing his great-aunt, and then he and Maya meet the caretaker, who helps them settle in. Jamie has vertigo, so the caretaker shares some contacts of repairmen who will help with the house setup before leaving. The caretaker decides to show something peculiar to the couple, and it ends up being the creepy door in the backyard. She explains that the aunt used to leave some diabetic blood offerings regularly for the beasts behind the door. Jamie, thinking it's a joke, says she's talking about leprechauns, but the caretaker says the beasts are called red caps, possibly adopted from a hell dimension and raised by humans. The caretaker also explains that the aunt lost her husband and daughter to pneumonia and blamed herself for this because she forgot to offer meat to the red caps. Maya, wanting to end this sinister conversation quickly, says she'll be happy to make the same daily offer, so the carer takes her word for it and leaves after inviting the couple to a pub. Maya and Jamie decide to start their new life together and set up their home. Jamie is also shown training his survivor muscles so that one day he can become a better boyfriend. Maya shoos away a pigeon and rests with Jamie while looking at an old photograph. The pigeon returns, and we can see that the roof is broken, so the couple has to get to work. They do some shopping, and Maya contacts a local repairman. She picks up some sweets for her cravings, and then the couple goes to pay the bill. The store owner doesn't charge them anything because he was a good friend of the aunt who helped him fix his gut and possibly his hormones. Now Maya and Jamie go to the pub that the caretaker mentioned earlier, but run into a bad dog on their way. Jamie gets scared and is ready to abandon Maya, proving that he is still a coward. We see the owner of the bad dog, the fatty, and then the couple enters the pub. Everyone stares at them ominously, but then they change the tone and greet the couple with happy smiles. After some chatting, a messy homeless man named Mr. Homeless warns Maya and Jamie about the repairman they hired because his family is filled with scary bullies. The caretaker throws Mr. Homeless out of the pub and asks Maya if she laid out the offering. Maya confesses that she forgot to do this, so the caretaker takes her to the side and volunteers to do it herself. However, Maya refuses her because she doesn't want to feel scared in her own home, especially after the bully incident. The caretaker convinces Maya to provide a daily offering to the redcaps because she has seen one herself, and they are not jolly little elves but rather hungry monsters. In the next scene, we see Mr. Homeless chasing after his messy dog and babbling some nonsense. We also see a mysterious figure, presumably a red lid, lurking in the background. Mr. Without. Tito finds a child alone in the forest, but turns out to be a red cap that the taka and leaves him in pieces, sealing his destination. The next day, Maya and Jamie wake up to strange noises, so they rush downstairs armed. However, it turns out to be the local repairman, who likes to call himself Whelan. Maya offers some tea to Whelan and his children, who are named Lady Bro, Big G, and the Fatty. Maya is constantly reminded to call Whelan by the name Daddy, but Jamie takes offense to it. He goes shopping with Maya, and they pick up some liver for the offerings, But we notice Lady Bro and Big G being shady as they eat the couple's snacks, steal their money, and lick their hormone toys while engaging in a mess war. Now Maya and Jamie meet a priest who shows them the aunt's grave. Maya reveals that she had to lose a previous child because of a useless boyfriend, so the priest hopes she finds peace. The couple learns that the aunt's daughter's body was never found, which is strange because the caretaker had said that the aunt's daughter was lost to pneumonia. On their way home, Maya and Jamie find the caretaker who is organizing a search party for Mr. Homeless. Maya asks the caretaker why she lied about the aunt's daughter and learns that the aunt had sacrificed her to the Red Caps in a deal to save her husband. Maya doesn't believe her, but the caretaker stands by her words. After that, the couple heads back home, but is surprised to see Lady Bro and Big G smoking greens on their doorstep. Jamie confronts them while Maya goes to the bathroom. He tries to scold Big G and Lady Bro, but they keep mocking him because they think he is a useless man who got lucky with the house. Maya goes to the bathroom and has to flush the toilet because of the earlier mess war. She doesn't realize that the fatty is being a peeping Tom, and she remembers the trauma from the bully incident. Maya quickly spots the fatty and panics, so she and Jamie complain to Whelan about it. He says he'll sort out his kids, but continues to maintain that Maya should call him Daddy. Jamie starts to grow frustrated, so Maya tells him to take it out on the punching bag. She goes to offer the liver to the Red Caps, but gets distracted when the door opens. Maya notices that the liver has been eaten already, so she rushes back home. The next day, the fatty causes an accident that almost harms Maya, so Jamie loses his cool and shouts at Whelan's kids. Maya tries to handle the situation and consoles the fatty, but Whelan arrives and starts kicking him. Maya finally calls him Daddy and urges him to stop, which he does, but Jamie feels insecure anyway. Maya goes out to the backyard and gets lured into the forest behind the door. She looks around the area hoping to find Mr. Homeless, who still hasn't been found. Things get creepy as Maya seemingly loses her way, but then she finds Mr. Homeless's messy dog, which leads her somewhere. Meanwhile, Whelan beats up the fatty to assert dominance. The dog takes Maya to a creepy hut that leads to an underground stairway. Maya is unable to move further, so the dog runs away. Maya loses track of the dog but finds the fatty in the middle of the forest. He is crying because of what Whelan did to him and shows Maya his bruises. She tries to console him using her words, but the fatty prefers to be consoled by her using her muscles, so he turns into a creep and assaults Maya. After that, what follows is left somewhat ambiguous, and then Maya rushes back home to find Jamie, who is still boxing his punching bag. She leads him inside the forest and reveals that the fatty tried to end her life. However, the Red Caps arrived and saved Maya by attacking the fatty. Jamie doesn't believe what Maya is saying because this is highly unlikely. Maya maintains that she saw the Red Caps, but Jamie loses his mind and screams at her in a chicken voice. Maya is shocked to see this behavior, but Jamie explains that he has changed since the bully incident. This is because he needs to protect his family as a man. Jamie goes to the pub for a drink, but is confronted by Big G and Lady Bro, who are looking for the fatty and suspect him of being shady. Jamie pleads ignorance, but the siblings harass him, so the caretaker and the others tell them to get lost with their smelly butts. At night, Maya gets herself a glass of water and thinks back to what happened between her and the fatty. Suddenly, a Red Cap enters the house and creeps Maya out. He gives her a bag and smells her baby, after which he walks away feeling disgusting. Maya tries her best to take a picture of the Red Cap and looks into the bag to find the fatty's head. Jamie comes home later, so Maya shows him the head and the Red Cap pictures she took. This is too much for Jamie to take in, but then Whelan arrives with Big G and Lady Bro. They demand to know what happened to the fatty, so Maya goes upstairs to hide, and Jamie tries to shoo them away. Whelan doesn't listen and smashes the windows, after which Big G tries to enter through the broken roof. Maya tries to escape her pregnant life from the house, but gets caught by Lady Bro. She drops the bag, and Lady Bro finds the fatty's head inside, dead, as Big G cuts the internet line, so Jamie isn't able to contact the cops for help. Whelan sees the fatty's head, so he breaks into the house and orders Lady Bro to wreak havoc. Meanwhile, Maya rushes to the forest and begs the Red Caps to help her. Whelan starts burning the place down, and Big G attacks Jamie from behind after entering through the roof. All those punching bag sessions prove to be useless, as Jamie is shown to be worse than a chicken. He isn't able to harm Big G's bulletproof muscles with a knife and gets beaten down with ease. Meanwhile, Maya doesn't get any response from the Red Caps, so she offers them whatever they want. Whelan finds Jamie and demands to know what happened to the fatty, so he's told about the red caps. Whelan doesn't believe this and threatens Jamie to reveal Maya's location. Maya shows up to the scene, but her water breaks and she gets attacked by Lady Bro. Things look bad for the couple as Whelan tells Big G to send Jamie to the chicken gods. However, a red cap drops down from the roof and attacks Big G without human mercy, causing him to panic like a small G. So, Whelan helps him out, but they get attacked by more red caps. Whelan ends one of them, and then we shift to Lady Bro, who is applying the finishing touches to Maya's assassination. Suddenly, an army of red caps shows up and attacks Lady Bro, ending her domination. Big G panics as he tries to escape the house but gets attacked by a red cap. He manages to get rid of it but is beaten up by more red caps. Then we see Lady Bro, whose belly is ripped open in front of Maya, just like a C-section. Whelan loads up his shotgun but finds Big G trying to escape in their van. A red cap shows up from behind and slashes Big G's neck, ending his big life. Now Jamie goes to look for Maya and finds the red caps feasting on Lady Bro. He accidentally attacks them like a silly Billy, and then Maya tells him to focus on her as she is going through labor. That's when Whelan arrives with his shotgun and shoots a red cap, prompting the others to escape. Whelan threatens to end the couple, but Jamie decides it's time to be a man. He challenges Whelan to a fistfight, but is hilariously shot down because he will always remain a chicken. Whelan wants revenge for what happened to his kids, so he is about to shoot Maya's belly, but then the messy dog shows up to save the day. This distraction allows Maya to get the shotgun, and she uses it to shoot down Whelan. Now Jamie tends to Maya, while the red caps take the bodies away for a feast. After a long, arduous night, Maya finally gives birth to a chubby baby girl. Jamie picks up some painkillers and then decides to fix up the house. Maya is happy to have her child, and we see Jamie listening to a self-help podcast while he cleans Whelan's van. Unfortunately, the red caps steal Maya's baby, so she chases after them while calling out to Jamie. However, he is too busy listening to the self-help podcast, so he is unresponsive. Maya comes across the same hut that the dog had led her to earlier. She climbs down the stairway and finally finds her chubby baby, but she is soon confronted by the red caps. That's when she sees an old woman who is revealed to be the aunt's missing daughter. It turns out that after the aunt sacrificed her daughter to the red caps, they made the daughter their mother and worshipped her like their queen. Maya begs for her baby, but is threatened by the red caps because they want to repeat the same cycle that happened with the aunt. However, Maya is not like her useless boyfriend, so she attacks a red cap elder and brutally sends the aunt's daughter to meet the red cap lord. Maya gets her baby back, and the red caps start worshipping her as their new queen. Later, Jamie finds the baby at his doorstep, but notices something far more dreadful. Maya is being inducted as Mother Red Cap, and she participates in a ritual using the skull and blood of the aunt's daughter. Jamie is a beta male, so he welcomes Maya's new position, and the movie ends with Maya looking like a psycho, meaning that she will now command the red caps to do her evil bidding.